Welcome to the Mayfield Minute. My name is Justin Carrico, and this is your insider's view in 5 minutes or less. Obviously, today I have a guest here with us. This is Jennifer Walker, the executive director of tourism here in Mayfield-Graves County. And I don't know if you've seen our new Wayfinding Signs around town, especially off of the interstate and things like that. But I wanted to introduce you to the mastermind behind this and have her share a little bit about it. So as you're going around town, you'll see these signs. I just wanted to kind of give the insider's view into how those came about and the process to it. So,
sure.
Jennifer.
Well, the Wayfinding Signs are funded with ARPA dollars, and if you'll remember, ARPA came about after COVID, and it was supposed to help communities recover from COVID. Obviously, tourism was one of the entities impacted because during COVID we told people to stay home and not go anywhere. And, tourism is funded by 3% transient room tax at our hotels, bed and breakfast, campground, those types of things. So when people stayed home, we didn't get any funding during that time, and so tourism obviously had a hit. The state legislator and the governor were very kind, and they set aside some of the ARPA dollars, federal ARPA dollars that came to the state for tourism. And they gave us 2 different pools of money. And they said one was for multi-jurisdictional projects. If you'll work with some of your other tourism brethren, create something new that's not already being done, we'll help you with some kickoff funding for that. So Mayfield-Graves County participated in 4 multi-jurisdictional projects: the West Kentucky Winery Tour, the West Kentucky Disc Golf Tour, the West Kentucky Barbecue Trail, and Kentucky After Dark, which tied in with the Wooldridge Monuments here.
Yeah.
So we provided a 10% match for those funds, and then those tourism agencies from different communities worked together to develop those trails. The second pot of money was for the individual tourism entities, and they gave us a list of eligible projects. And this was not too long after the tornado happened in December of 2021. And so we knew in Mayfield-Graves County that we wanted to do something that helped address the needs from the tornado, which is missing signage, and also worked us toward the future of downtown Mayfield-Graves County. So excuse me, the Tourism Commission met, we looked through all of our options, and decided, wayfinding is what we wanted to do. So we sent a grant to the state asking for funds to do this, and were awarded those funds. It was $66,000, I think it was $66,431, plus a 10% match that was required from the locals. And we actually, by the time it was over, put in a 17% match to get what we wanted. So the Tourism Commission sat around this table here with a large map of Mayfield-Graves County and started talking about, okay, what do we want to highlight and how do we get the greatest impact from our limited funds?
Sure.
So we knew that the things that draw people into this community are the ballpark, the fairgrounds, Fancy Farm Winery, and also the Wooldridge Monuments. Part of the requirements for Wayfinding Signs is that it has to be open or offering activities year-round. So that had something to do with those things that we
limits a lot.
It limits a lot, right? And it also has to be something, again, wayfinding is for tourists. We all know how to find those things in Mayfield-Graves County, but what we're trying to do is get people from outside Mayfield-Graves County to come into Mayfield to spend their money, to stay in our hotels, to shop in our boutiques, to buy gas, to eat at our restaurants. And those people coming in don't know how to get necessarily to the fairgrounds, and also their GPS may not lead them there. That was something we learned. I have a couple of friends who at different times had tried to come to events at the fairgrounds, and their GPS did not lead them to fairgrounds. We knew that was a problem. So once we decided on those signs, then we started talking about where do you put them? What are the entryways to Mayfield and Graves County to those things? So what we decided was Interstate 69, which as we know is transformative in West Kentucky. We chose exits 22 and exits 24 of I-69. And then we chose Highway 80 from Murray and Highway 45 from Paducah. So we decided those were our main entranceways for people coming to events here.
Sure.
So if you see on I-69, exits 22 and 24, northbound and southbound, get you to the fairgrounds, the ballpark, on one side, and it gets you to Wooldridge Monuments and Fancy Farm Winery on the other. Also, we had to add an additional sign on West Broadway, right before 7th Street, directing you to turn left on 7th to get to the Wooldridge Monuments. We wanted to do lots of other places. The problem was A, funding, and B, every time you add a sign, every time there is a turn, you have to add another sign, which increases the cost. We wanted so badly to do Kess Creek Park. The disc golf trail that I mentioned, the multi-jurisdiction one, was so popular.
Yeah.
We had lots of, we had a tournament last year. We had 96 people come in from that tournament from 6 different states.
Wow.
So we knew it was a tourist success story. But every, you know where our Locust Street for the Kess Creek Park took about a half a dozen signs to get people, and it would have taken our entire budget.
Yeah.
So what we're hoping is that in the future we can save some money and we can add some signs for places like the disc golf course at Kess Creek Park, the newly designed downtown district, Purchase Players Community Performing Arts Center. We have a list of other places that we would like to have signage for when funds allow.
Yeah.
We just got really lucky with the ARPA funds and the fact that the governor, the state legislature, and the Tourism, Arts, and Heritage Cabinet all agreed to set aside some money to do these transformative things in tourism at this time. We don't know that we'll ever have that shot again.
Sure, yeah, and way to take advantage of that.
That's right. Hopefully, with the New Hampton that is being built now, that should be open this summer, hopefully we'll see a little more transient room tax generated through that, and we can start setting that aside to do those additional signs in the future.
Yeah, well, I do publicly just want to say thank you for everything that you do, everything your board does, even with the limited funds that we've had, but to be able to pull off the events, and honestly, I think one of the best tools from Jennifer Walker and her board is that they communicate the things that are happening in our community, and I think communication is such a key component of that. Families and citizens knowing what's happening in the community, so that we aren't saying like, man, I wish there was something to do. Like, there are things to do, and you do a phenomenal job of making everybody aware of that. So I just want to say thank you.
And if you all don't, please follow the Mayfield-Graves County Tourism Facebook page. That obviously is a very inexpensive way to get information out.
Absolutely.
So we generally have a weekly post on Thursdays that lets you know everything that's going on in town and Graves County the coming weekend.
Yeah, make sure you subscribe to that, follow that page so that you're up to date, and things that you can do with you, your family, your friends, whatever it is, because there are things happening in this community. And again, just wanted to make you aware of the Wayfinding Signs. You'll see them around directing guests. Heck, even after the tornado, it was difficult to find things, even as a citizen.
Absolutely.
But for our guests to be able to find the things that they need to in our town, and to attend the things that are happening in this town. So again, Jennifer, thank you so much. I hope this has informed you and things that you can share, but definitely make sure you follow the tourism page so that you know what's happening in this town.